everybody. Happy Tuesday morning. So I've had a couple of you ask for a video of how I layer my compost lasagna and set it up. So a couple things to remember are you want carbon items, which are called the browns, which is things like dried leaves, pine needles, wood chips or sawdust or shredded paper or shredded cardboard, that kind of thing. And the other thing you need is in the nitrogen group, and those are called the greens. And those are things like eggshells and coffee grounds and all your vegetable and fruit scraps, which is really easy to accumulate quickly. And things like dried grass clippings also are in the nitrogen group. And so what we're after is a 3-to-1 ratio by volume, not by weight, of carbon to nitrogen. So what I've got here, and you may not be able to see completely, I have a 30-gallon garbage can full of dried leaves, and over here I have a 5-gallon container of dried grass clippings and also a 5-gallon bucket full of all of our kitchen waste. So I've got 30 gallons of 30 gallons of carbon in the leaves and 10 gallons of the nitrogen. So that's pretty much all I'm gonna need. I need a hose because it's gonna get wet with every layer, and that's about it. So I'll show you how I do it. So first thing I will do is lay down about 1/3 of my leaves. Oh, and by the way, on this pile I'm doing just a free-form pile. It's not in chicken wire like my other pile is. I don't think it's going to be any problem at all, especially because it's inside of my fenced garden. That helps a lot, knowing that the critters can't get to it in here. Okay, so that's the first layer of the carbon base. And then I'm going to add about 1/3 of this bucket of the dried grass clippings. And you definitely want them dry so they don't mold and get really nasty. They tend to stick together and mold really quickly if they're not dry. And it usually only takes about a day. I just mowed the lawn yesterday and just kind of dumped them out and spread them around, and the sun did all the work for me. So about 1/3 of the grass clippings. And then the fun part is the kitchen waste. It's yucky. You want this stuff cut up into as small a chunks as you can get it, because it will break down much faster. So that's about 1/3 of that. Now I'm going to wet it, and I'm going to wet it well. So it said that you want your compost pretty wet so that if you picked up a handful of it and you squeezed it, it wouldn't quite drip, but almost. Okay, so this is my first layer now. I'll just pull in the edges just a little bit. And so now I'm going to start again, second layer. I'm going to add the leaves or the carbon. And 1/3 of the grass. And another 1/3 of the kitchen scraps. I always love seeing how good we eat, how blessed we are. And now some more water. So every layer gets the carbon and the nitrogen and then it gets wet down again. And then we have one more layer. Last little bit of grass clippings. And the last little bit of the kitchen waste. And then I'm going to take from the edge and pull some of these leaves over the top, just because. And then I'm going to wet it one more time, if I can hang on to my hose here. And then one more time, just kind of pull any of the loose stuff up. And in a free pile like this, that's just going to happen, which is totally fine. And so there you have it, how to make a hot compost pile. So what I'm going to do now is let this pile sit for 3 days for sure, undisturbed, and maybe even 4. And then at the end of that 3rd or 4th day, I'm going to take my pitchfork and I'm going to turn it. I'm going to mix it all up really good. And even by that point, should theoretically start to see the heat. My other pile has gotten up to about 145 degrees, and every time I turn it, it steams, and it's all black and breaking down so beautifully. So there you go, my friends. Much love to you, and I hope you have an amazing day.